Okay, so I'm not sure. Custard is just outside. Oh, you're on a cable. I'm so sorry. I think I might just have to go and. I'm so sorry. I might just have to go and get Custard because she's outside being naughty. So I'll be back in just a second. Custard. Oh my goodness. Oh, hello. Right, so the state of my hair explains all. I thought I'd go live tonight. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is, but that dog is a nuisance. What are you doing? Come on. Oh my god. Right, I'm back. I'm here. What are you doing? You're being naughty. She was out in the garden, and that's fine. But sometimes she like barks at the cats that are passing by, and one cat like sits on the shed and teases her. But I don't mind the dogs barking a little bit, but when she's like yapping, I'm just conscious of the neighbours getting annoyed by her. I'm just listening because I think James is going out. This is the awkward reality, like when you're trying to film with people in the house. This is such an awkward intro for a video, I'm so sorry. I think James is going out. So the reason I'm not sure is because he has just been over in the gym across the road at our friend's garage. That if you don't know the story behind this, our friend has a garage. We don't have a garage, but we've put money into converting our friend's garage into a gym, and they've given us a key so we can go and use that gym. And the idea was we use that gym and cancel gym memberships, because gym memberships are a lot of money. So the fact we have a gym now across the road is just really convenient. So James went across the road to the gym just to kind of warm up before his rugby, and I think that's him just pulled off the driveway, so I think he's gone. But welcome to my bedroom today. Go get in your bed. That's nice. You sit there. Let me move this keyboard out of the way. So this is my bedroom. I don't know if we've done a live. Yeah, we have done a live video in here before, but I'm just rambling because I'm nervous. It's been a while. But yeah, we have the whole of my studio in here, minus the desk. Oh, in fact, half the desk is in here because we couldn't take it to bits. We have the whole of my studio and all of my stock and all of its contents are in this room with me right now. It actually doesn't, in fact, that's not normally in here, the DVD bookcase. And should I show you? I'm a little bit ashamed. I'm just going to turn you around and show you. How do I turn this around? Here we go. So yeah, you can kind of just see that everything is in here. All of, yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute nightmare. All of this is out of my office. It's just kind of stacked up, and down here there's just, look, this is how close to the side of the bed I am. The computer is here, and oh, let's just turn you back around. Hello there. I've been working from this room for the past couple of days because oh my god, this is so uncomfortable. On Monday night, Custard, she's in my bed now. As long as she's quiet, I don't mind. On Monday night, we got a text message from the guy that did our vinyl in the bathroom, and he measured up for carpets while he was here. I was like, oh, do you do carpets? And I think it's just happened so quickly. If you know anything about, he's trying to get on the bed now. Have you abandoned him, Custard? Wherever she goes, he has to go. Come on, Bess. Come on. Come on. You need your eyebrows trimming, don't you? He's here now. With the bathroom, it took ages. Like, we were planning this bathroom at the arse end of last year, And then because the guy that did our bathroom, he's lovely, he's the loveliest man alive, but it just took so long to book in with him, which I guess is kind of a good thing because it shows that he's popular and that people like really want his work. It looks like I've got a mullet as well, by the way. It's a plait that's just kind of come loose and undone, and yeah, it's been one of those weeks so far. But yeah, it just took so long to get round to having him come and do the bathroom that I think we were expecting the carpets to be like just not happen as fast, but they really have. So on Monday night he was like, oh, I can start them on Friday if you want. And because James is off work this week, we just went for it, which is not the most convenient time in the world because the first week of every month is when I do your patron parcels. We've also got shop orders to fulfill, and we've also got obviously the Kickstarter saga is continuing. So I'm just wondering whether to move because the lighting is just, I feel like a zombie right now. I don't know whether I could move and go to a different room maybe. It's just so awkward. Maybe we could go downstairs. Should we go downstairs? Let's go downstairs. And now I can, oh, what's going on? I can show you my new plants. Come on, doggies. I can't get off the bed if you, I can't get off the bed if you are like, yeah. This is so awkward. Let's go downstairs where hopefully the lighting will be a little bit more forgiving. And then I can actually check to see if James has gone out. See if the car's on the drive or not. My tea, sweets. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. So yes, it's not the most convenient week in terms of we've got a lot going on, but because James is off, we just thought, let's go for it. And when he did measure up the carpets for us, I told him that I'm self-employed and that if it was easier, because I work from home, if it's easier for him to like come and do like a day or one room, then that is totally fine with us. Like he could do the stairs and then go, and that's just one bit of the house done. Or he could do one room and then go. Like if that makes sense. It's just, I said to him, just slot us in whenever is convenient for you. I've just realised I've come downstairs and I want to show you the pins, which are upstairs, so I might end up going back upstairs. Let's just have a tour of Ellis's house. So yes, to cut a long one short, we're having the carpet started tomorrow, and I think he's told us that we're doing the carpets up the stairs tomorrow, we're doing the landing tomorrow, and my studio room, and if he's got time he'll do James's man cave room too. I think he's going to do both. I hope he does both, otherwise James will be upset, because not only is my studio space in the bedroom now, his man cave room is too. So he has a desk and he has like furniture where we keep our clothes and stuff, and it's just a bit mad in there at the moment. And I tell you what, I knew that your workspace and how you organise it and how you keep it in terms of like feng shui, if you believe in feng shui and all of that, because we do, we try, but your workspace and how you feel in your workspace and the whole like, you know, when things are messy and out of place, it can make you feel like overwhelmed and a bit claustrophobic, and like you want to avoid that space rather than enjoy being in that space. Whereas like I've always tried to keep my office quite tidy, but I still always feel really cluttered and overwhelmed in there. And the only time I don't is when I've gone to IKEA and I've got a new piece of furniture and everything's fresh for about a week, and then it slowly, I let it go. And I am a bugger, guys. I'm a bugger for getting things out and not putting it away. James hates that about me. If there was one thing that he could change about me, I'm sure it would be that how messy I am. So I really want to think a bit more. It's definitely been a work in progress, my workspace anyway, because when I first moved in, I wasn't full-time in my job, so there wasn't much stock in there. There was no machinery in there, so I think the most machinery I had was like a printer, and I had the mug press, and that is the most I've had. Whereas now I have 3 printers, I have the mug press, I have the Cricut machine, I have the computer, and it's just such a small room. Ideally I'd like a bigger room, but that's not, like, we've got the house now, we've not been here very long, we're definitely not moving house, but I just want to make the most of the space that I do have. and we've spent 2 nights now in the bedroom with all of that chaos going on, that it has really made me so aware. Like, I feel quite ill in there, and I've been sleeping quite well, I think because I've been tiring myself out during the day. It's not been too bad, but when I wake up in the morning and when I have to go into the bedroom, it just feels like really like busy and a bit overwhelming in there. So that has really opened my eyes to how your workspace and any space affects your mood. And it really is true. Like, if you have a nice clear space and things are tidy and put away, and how you find yourself feeling comfortable so that you can be productive, it really does make a difference. Hopefully this time tomorrow we'll have most of the carpets done upstairs, and then over the weekend I can spend it blogging and moving back in. That's another thing this week. I've just not really vlogged very much, because it's hard to vlog when there's this much going on, but also because James is off work and I'm so camera shy in front of him that I don't really like to vlog. So there's that. What else? I wanted to talk to you guys. Oh, saw Aladdin yesterday. I liked it. I think overall I liked it. It felt like it was missing something for me personally, and James feels the same. Luckily we have very similar like views on films especially. The thing I think that let it down the most was Jafar wasn't right. The guy that played Jafar was not the right guy. I think they cast everyone else really well, and obviously when the trailers first came out there was a lot of speculation around Will Smith being the genie, and a lot of people were like, oh, he's not going to do it, he's not going to manage it, it's not going to be the same. And I think because the original genie was Robin Williams, who's one of my heroes by the way, because if you didn't know this about me, I love to do impressions and sing in my spare time. I'm not professional by any means, but I like to put voices on, and it's like, it's always been my thing that's a massive secret about me that nobody knows. So now you know. I'm not going to do it because I'm so embarrassed, and I've been with James now 5 years and I've only just got to a point where I sing in front of him, and he's always like, you should go and audition at Disney, and I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. But Robin Williams to me is like one of the most inspiring people ever. His story is heartbreaking, and it is true, I think, what they say about the funniest people in the world are sometimes the saddest, because they know what it's like to feel down and sad and low all the time, so they put a lot of effort into making other people feel better. And I think that really hits home, because I think for me as a person, I've not had like the happiest of times all the time. Like, I've had my fair share of down moments, but I think when you know how it feels to feel really, really down, you do try and just perk people up and lift others and just try and make them laugh and be funny. I'm waffling. Anyway, back to the genie. I think that space and that role was going to be tricky to fill for anyone. And no matter who they cast, everyone was going to be like, oh, is Will Smith the right person for the genie? But I think, after seeing the film, I think it wouldn't have been as good without Will Smith as the genie. I think he'd put his own twist on it. I think it was pretty good. And without him, I think the movie would have sucked a lot. But apart from that, I think apart from Jafar being really wrong, like, I'm a massive villain person. I don't know how you guys feel about Disney films, but for me, the villains are like one of the strongest points in a Disney movie for me. And if you were to ask me like, who's your favourite Disney character, a lot of them are villains. I just love Disney villains. I've always loved them. And I think the movie is stronger when it's got a really good villain, and really good villainous songs too. Not that Jafar, I don't think Jafar has a song, and he never has had a song, but Jafar was just a really powerful, evil, wicked guy, and I'm not sure the guy that they cast for the live action was the right person for Jafar. But apart from that, I honestly thought it was really fun. There was a lot of kids there when we went, and that was nice to see that it is such a kid-friendly film, as it should be, because it is a Disney. and it was scary in parts, it was dark in parts, it was exciting, and I think it was filmed beautifully. But yeah, Jafar just wasn't right. And then, well, we came home after and we just felt so tired. I did a bit of work, I did a bit of video editing, and then I packed up some more badges and pins, which reminds me, I'm just going to nip back upstairs to get to the pins, because I have some updates, and I have posted on the Kickstarter, but to be honest, I haven't posted, like, I haven't done a full in-depth chat like I'm about to do for you guys. You two are on my bed. Do you know what? These doggies. Bertie the puppy came round earlier today, so I think the dogs are knackered from entertaining him. He's such a cutie, and he's coming over on Saturday night to have a play, because my dad's going out for dinner on Saturday night, and I think it's like one of the first times that they're going to be leaving Bertie for quite a while, so he asked if we could have him just for a few hours. Oh my god, I'm so unfit. Why did going up the stairs kill me just then? Okay, so I had some new cards arrive, so that's why the gummy bear is on these cards. This week has been much better, and if you've read the Kickstarter update, you'll know that where do I start? I don't even know where to start. So Monday came and I didn't hear from my manufacturer until like 12:30, and even then I had to like prompt them on Facebook. I was like, can someone please reply to my email? And they did pretty quickly. And they explained to me, I've just got a cup of tea, because why wouldn't you on this fine Thursday evening? But they said to me they were holding off emailing because they were waiting to hear back from the manufacturers. And it's kind of like, I've relaxed a bit with how I'm talking to them. Not that this is why I want to have a proper live video chat about being business minded, because at the arse end of last week, I say arse end a lot at the minute, at the end of last week, I was like telling them that I was really pissed, you know, in a professional way. I told them that it was getting ridiculously silly, is the words I used. But I just said that it was getting a bit stupid now, the amount of errors that there were in this project, and I said that it was really embarrassing for me as a maker, as a creator, to then have to then go to my customers who have already paid for these pins and tell them that they're wrong, that they're going to have to wait longer, or in some circumstances that the pins aren't going to look how we planned out in the first place. And on Monday they explained to me they were waiting to hear back from the manufacturers, and it just kind of hit me that you should, like, I try and be polite to people anyway, but it just hit me that they too are probably in a similar situation to me, because they haven't made the pins themselves. They are a middleman, so they're waiting to hear back from a manufacturer who quite frankly don't seem to give a flying fuck about the making of these pins and the quality of these pins. Luckily the ones I've got here right now that I want to show you guys, they're fine. And I think Awesome Merchandise explained this to me. They said that the people making the pins might have different standards each time. So one person might be making one batch, but they are going to have very different standards and skill sets to the next person. So although my last batch of pins last year were really good from them, these ones are different, and I know they are. And the fact that I'm trying to convey that to Awesome Merchandise and they're trying to convey that to people out in China is just really hard. And I think it hit me at the start of this week that they are probably shitting their pants having to come to me and tell me how disappointed that sorry, I just got distracted because I think someone pulled on the drive, but they didn't. I think they are bricking their pants at having to come to me the same way that I'm bricking my pants having to go to you and my backers and my customers and say these have gone wrong. So I kind of explained that to them, and I've gone a bit easier on them and just sort of reminded them as well. I've kind of, you know, I've said to them that I understand that it must be really frustrating for them. and that I thank them again for all of their support and their hard work in trying to sort this out for me, because bless her, the lady that is dealing with me the most, I think they've assigned one member of staff to me, because if you've used Awesome Merchandise before, you might know that every time you email through customer service, I think it just goes through like a chain, so they do it in order of which they get emails. So if you email at 9 o'clock in the morning, you will get a response quicker than the person that emailed at 10 o'clock in the morning. They just go through it in chronological order. Whereas I've got, and it could be a different member of staff emailing you each time because of that. Whereas at the moment I've got the same lady emailing me all the time. And bless her, she said to me that she's working till 10 o'clock at night this week. She's trying to sort it out for me, and she was like, honestly, I'm so sorry. It's trying to get across to the manufacturer in China why this is so bad. So I do feel for her a lot, and I just kind of told her that because it's her day off tomorrow, and she said that somebody else will be taking over from her to make sure that I've got support. But I just told her to like enjoy your time off. They have spoken to me about giving me some sort of a discount for my next orders, and this is something that I explained to them and what I was quite conscious of. And I think I told you guys in my last video, was it a live video that I did talking about the pins? But as much as I'm angry at them for their customer service, it's like Marmite, their customer service. You either have a really good experience or you have a really bad one. And and this is the thing, I've had such good work done by them and such good customer service that when they don't deliver that, it feels like, well, why set such a high benchmark for you? Because they pride themselves on customer service, they really do. It's something that I hear a lot from, like they're really good with customer service. So when you've had that, and then they treat you as though they're not really too fussed whether you come out of this with your happy hat on, then it feels like, well, am I not valued as a customer? Do you know what I'm saying? It just feels a bit weird. And I explained to them that they have done really good work in the past. They are a UK based manufacturer other than enamel pins, and that I had a lot of work planned to take to them for the rest of this year. And I think that made them realise that I've told them that I'm not doing enamel pins ever again, with them anyway. That's another thing I'll talk about in a second. But I've said to them I'm not doing pins with them again, but I was feeling quite upset with the fact that they were my main supplier and that I was going to be coming to them for other things in the year. I asked to speak to a manager, as you guys know, and I haven't yet managed to do that, so I don't know whether the manager is just too busy to get in touch with me. I don't know whether the manager just doesn't see this as something urgent. I don't know the reason. But I've asked to speak to the manager, and maybe I will once all of this is blown over, because they've said once all this is sorted, we'll speak to the manager and see if we can sort out some sort of discount for your next orders. Which, is better than nothing. I don't want like refunds or anything. I just want this to be sorted so that I can fulfill my own bloody project. And that is what, I'm not the sort of person to start demanding refunds from them, the same way that I hope that my backers aren't going to start demanding refunds from me, because if that happened, and if it did, I would be up shit creek because of the amount of money that it took to collect together from Kickstarter to put into this project. If people then wanted refunds, I've got all these pins on my hands, and I'd have to refund out of my own pocket, because it's just cost so much money between all of us, because I haven't done this alone, I've done it with you guys and the rest of my backers. So it has felt really intense, the whole situation. And I had one of those moments earlier where I've got all of the pins together now, so I've got 4 out of 5. No, that's a lie, I've got 3 out of 5 and a sample of the gummy bear that I just want to show you. And I looked at them all together and I was like, oh, these are really cute, I'm really happy with them. And oh, this isn't the end of enamel pins, I'm sure I'll do some more. And then I had to pinch myself and remember how much strain it's put me under this time around, so I'm not sure what to do. A lovely small business friend actually gave me the name of a UK-based supplier who does enamel pins. So once all this is blown over and once I've got a bit of enamel pin energy back, we'll probably discuss this further in another video and talk about whether it's ethical. I want to look into this company a lot more. I think they cost more to make pins, but also if it's a UK-based factory that I can support and also potentially get to know a bit better and build a relationship with, that sounds better to me than going to China, where they don't seem to understand really. There's also the copyright thing and people stealing artwork that bothers me. Let me just show you these four together if I can with one hand, because don't they look cute together? So there's one still to come, and obviously the gummy bears. I'm showing you the gummy bear now because I've just got a sample. And you guys have seen, I'm sure, the rest of the pins, so I won't talk about them any further. But the gummy bear, this one here, has come out really well in terms of shape, but there's no glitter inside. I can see that they've tried to put glitter in, and this is the other thing that is really confusing, because I can see that there's white glitter in here and there's a difference. I was trying to explain this to James because he's not in this. When I say he's not in this, he's not like aware of the differences is what I'm trying to say. But holographic and white glitter are two different things. So holographic is like a rainbow spectrum, like this one. You can, well, I don't think you can see on the video, but you can kind of get the picture. There's loads of different colours going on, whereas white glitter is a bit more limited. I think I might have to plug you in. Conveniently got a charger under my, there we go, you plugged in. Whereas white glitter is like a more limited colour spectrum. There's like probably just whites and maybe silvers in there, maybe a bit of pink if you're lucky, but holographic is a bit more, it's a bit more varied. So I can tell they've tried to put white glitter in there, and they've told me, this is not what the manufacturer told me, and no, they told Awesome Merchandise who have told me, but they said it's the Pantone colour that you have chosen is why the glitter isn't showing up, which I don't believe is the reason. But if it is the reason, why is that not an advisory during the ordering process? And why did they accept the artwork files that have the glitter requests with the colours down the side if it is potentially something that could go wrong? So hello, by the way, if you are here. I can see, as usual with live videos, I can see that some people are here, but I can't see who you are because there's no names. So I'm really sorry if I've not said hello directly to you yet. So yeah, they've told me that it's the colour that I picked. So rather than go straight down the route of, well, let's just do it with no glitter then, because people were really disappointed and didn't hold back in letting me know that they're disappointed. I mean, I don't blame them. I don't blame you if you're disappointed, because I am too. That the Dreamer pin is being made now without glitter, and I'm expecting the delivery of those next week. And I sent, oh, that's an update, the courier came today and took away the bad pins, so they've gone now. And as much as I tried to hang on to them, because I thought, what can I do with these? And I thought I could give them away as freebies to you. So even if you had a Dreamer pin, I was gonna like send you another one that you could maybe give to a friend or something, or give to a family member. I wasn't gonna sell them because they just weren't right. But I said to them, can you give me swatches of green that are similar to this, that are gonna work with glitter? And they've said they're gonna ask the manufacturer, but the manufacturer just seems awkward as arse. Like, I feel for Awesome Merchandise trying to deal with them on my behalf, because they just can't seem to get through to them. And I don't know if it's just because they're out in China, if there's a language barrier, I'm not sure. Whether they're so far away and they just don't care because they think, oh, it's fine, we can just get away with this. I don't know, but that's where we're at the minute, and that's why I've not properly released like images of these across social media, because these might end up being made without glitter. As you can see though, I just dropped it. As you can see, they are really cute and they're really sweet, and the shape is lovely. It's a shame they don't pick up on the iPhone camera. Ooh, okay, it's on the floor now, it's gone. It's a shame that I can't show you guys just how cute they are in person. It's the same with the cola bottle one, and this, I've been wearing mine today. Just took it on a little maiden voyage, shall we say. But this one's really cute too. They've come out really well. And it's just a shame that when you're making enamel pins, the standard differs from batch to batch, and it's hard sharing this on YouTube too, because I'm fully like expecting this weekend when I upload my vlog that loads of people are going to come along and like, I don't know, nitpick at things, or you just know what people on YouTube can be like sometimes. It's just an open gateway for people to come along and give you like unwarranted opinions and stuff, and that's for another time. Someone told me the other day on YouTube that my artwork wasn't very good, and I was like, well, just don't watch my videos then, or why do you hang around and watch my videos if you don't like what I produce? Like, it's not going to be to everyone's taste. And that, like, I was like, oh, just go screw yourself. But I'm just fully expecting this weekend, because I've shared this experience now. I'm expecting people to just throw their opinions across and be quite I don't mind constructive criticism, but when people are being criticising without trying to be positive and like constructive, and that is when I'm like, oh, just don't bother. Because I watch YouTube sometimes and I'm like, you can't like everybody and you can't like every single thing that somebody's done, but at no point do I cross that line and tell that person what I think. And I hold back from being constructively criticising unless I know somebody well, or if I feel comfortable telling that person, because you just don't know how people take criticism sometimes. So if it's a friend or a family member, then obviously I'm a bit more open about it. But with strangers that I've never met or never spoken to, I think it's different. And again, something that's different is Patreon, because we get to know each other on here, and I think we have a much deeper relationship on Patreon, and we can get to know each other a lot more than just strangers on the internet that you've only spoken to once in a passing comment. If they've said, oh yeah, I like your videos, and you say thank you, then they come along in the next video and they think it's a free pass to just be a dick. So back to the point, I'm waffling a lot today, but I feel scared about this week's video because I've shared this experience now, and as my friend Leanne said to me, who's been an absolute angel this week, I don't know what I'd have done without her, because she's just been an absolute godsend. But she was like, nobody shares the bad experiences with enamel pins, and I just hope that if there is one positive that can come out of this, it is that it helps people to gain experience through my experience. That is why I'm sharing it, just to hopefully broaden people's minds a bit, maybe, and open eyes as to people don't just order enamel pins and they turn up perfect every time. It just doesn't happen. And because people don't share it, and I've got a lot of small business friends who make enamel pins, and I never ever hear them talking about when things have gone wrong. I'm determined to not let this go cold in this live video, because if you've been here before, you'll know I let my drinks go cold. But yeah, I don't know. I always share things with you guys, as you know anyway, but with YouTube, I'm scared of just arseholes coming along and being not very nice. So yeah, there's that. And I don't really know what to do about this weekly vlog. I've tried to make it light-hearted and just share as much as I'm comfortable with, but at the same time I am still quite scared that people are going to come along and be like, well, you didn't plan this properly, and you know, people that haven't been here for the whole journey. And whether you've been here with me for a year, whether you've been here with me for the past few weeks, or whether you joined yesterday, I hope that it's clear that this isn't something that was just rushed into, and it's not something that was like not planned very well, because that is why this has cut me a bit deep, is because I planned this so much. Like, I don't feel like I planned it anymore. So if people come along this weekend on YouTube and they're like, you just didn't plan it very well and you should have sourced a different manufacturer and done your research before you place your orders, I'm actually gonna feel a bit pissed at that. because it just goes to show that you can. I mean, I was speaking to my friend Anita from Sugar and Sloth, who again is another angel in this world. She's lovely, and if you've not checked out Sugar and Sloth, you definitely should. But she was saying, because she has Pin Party Club box, and I've had the Pin Party Club box a few times. The only reason I cancelled my box is because of the housework we're having done and cutting back on my luxury spending, because the subscription box is a bit of a luxury and I get that, so I just cancelled it for a while, and later in the year I hope to sign up again. But every single month I've got hiccups, so I'm like trying to just get rid of them. But every single month she has a different enamel pin, and I've always looked at her and thought, how do you get this right every single month? But she plans her boxes like way in advance, so when it comes to like packing the pins and ordering the pins and everything she does with every single design each month with enamel pins, there's like very little space for it to go wrong. But she did say to me she's had bad batches before, and the reason why it's never shown very much is because she's like obviously planned it that far in advance that if something does go wrong, she's got time to then make them again. And that was like comforting to me, that I don't know, I just think it's so weird, and that's why I'm like hesitant to share anything so publicly on YouTube or anywhere really, because people just don't talk about when their products go wrong, let alone when enamel pins go wrong. I was talking to my friend Polly at Polygon Illustration. I feel myself getting sneezy. I think it's because I've been repotting tomatoes today, and I don't know, the smell is up my nose. I can feel myself getting sniffly. But she was saying that she joined a Facebook group called, what is it called? It's like, I don't even know if it's got a proper name, but it's somewhere that pin collectors, makers and no, not manufacturers actually. I think manufacturers are banned from entering. What is that, by the way? On my face, it's like, is it mud? I was repotting a plant earlier. I actually dug a massive hole in the garden and put a new plant in it, and I don't know if it's mud on my face or what. But this group is somewhere that makers and designers and collectors can go to discuss in confidence manufacturers and reviews and standards. So manufacturers, for obvious reasons, are banned from entering the group. If you sign up and you are a manufacturer, then they can kick you out. I think it's one of their guidelines. But I've been on there because Polly said that she used that group just to do research. So on Facebook groups you can search like a keyword and everything to do with that keyword will come up. So it's really good for like looking at reviews of manufacturers and stuff like that. But I've been looking at other people's posts for the past couple of weeks on there, and everyone is pretty much saying that enamel pins are very hit and miss. Like, you can have a good batch from a manufacturer, you can have a bad batch from a manufacturer, the same manufacturer, and there's just, if you are looking, I mean, if you have looked, and I'm sure a lot of you have, because I know a lot of you have your own shops, if you've looked into sourcing a manufacturer, you'll probably have noticed that there isn't one that really stands out as being successful 100% of the time, and that is what is so hard about having these things made. And no matter how much research you do, no matter how much you think you've got your shit together and that you've got a good relationship with your manufacturer, the nature of how these things are made just means that there is a lot of room and a lot of scope and a lot of opportunity, however you want to word it, there's a lot of room for these to go wrong. And I think that's something that unless you've had that experience yourself, you can take it for granted and just look at something so pretty, but like, oh, I bet that was easy to do, or whatever. I don't know what goes through people's minds, but it's really, these take a lot of work and a lot of effort. So I don't know, I look at my enamel pins now and I appreciate how much time, effort and stress goes into these, which is why I'm like, do I make any more? What do I do? So if I do, I'm going to look into the UK based factory, and I think it's probably one of very few that we have here in the UK. But I'm going to look into them and maybe get a quote from them. The other thing about ordering, I know a few of you suggested, oh, why don't you order from North America? I think there was something Danielle suggested North America, and a few more of you suggested Europe, but then you have import custom charges and all that kind of stuff, which ideally I want to avoid, and if I can support a UK based company then that is even better. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to do at the moment, apart from just hanging there still. And yeah, tomorrow, because the carpet man is coming really early, James said to me earlier, what are we going to do tomorrow? Because he is obviously being kicked out of his man cave room. And with it being his week off, he's been doing a lot of his model painting and having the best time ever, bless him. But he can't really, he's packed all of his models away so they're safe and they don't get damaged, whilst 2 rooms are now in the bedroom. Things being moved around. So he is going to help me tomorrow cut out, so these are the new backing cards. These arrived this week, and in fact no, they arrived last week. These ones, you pay more. This is a top tip for you guys. You pay more from a printer to get your corners rounded, but you can buy really cheap on eBay or probably craft stores a little hole punchy type device that just trims the edges for you. So you tuck it in to the corner, you punch it and it rounds the corner off. Time consuming, but it saves you money. And I've seen manufacturers, or printers rather, I've seen printers charge like nearly double. If you want your corners rounded on your cards or prints or anything, they will charge you more to do it for you. Whereas if you have a spare 5 minutes and you just want to punch them yourself, you can get the punchers really cheap. I think I paid £2 or £3 for mine. I'm not sure what that is in dollars or euros or anything, but it saved a lot of money, and James loves sitting there and rounding corners for me. There's also a lot of pins that, obviously the Sweetie ones, the Kickstarters are going to be on the Sweetie based backing cards, but because I recently rebranded and changed my domain name, those Sweetie backing cards that were designed for these pins have the wrong domain on. So I'm going to be using them up just for the Kickstarter, and then I've started putting them on here just to see what they look like, and they look really nice. It's a shame the camera is making them look a little bit less appealing than they actually are. I'll take a photo and post it on Lens after this, but we're going to be spending tomorrow just organising a lot of badges, pins, rounding corners and punching holes for button badges. Which reminds me, I ordered some button badges last week and they still haven't turned up yet, so maybe they'll arrive tomorrow, I'm not sure. Yeah, we are trying to work really hard to, obviously we're doing Patreon parcels tomorrow as well, but we're going to bring what we can downstairs and work at the coffee table, and just knuckle down really and get as much done as we can whilst we have nothing else to do, because tomorrow we'll be booted from upstairs downstairs whilst Rob does this thing with his carpets and whatever. Have any of you have carpets fitted before? Like, how long does it take? I guess that's a stupid question because you don't know the shape of rooms or how big the rooms are, whether there's underlay involved and whatever. So yeah, ignore that question, it's a bit stupid, but I guess another way of just asking that question is, you know, just rhetorical. Is that the right way of saying it? It's a rhetorical question. I don't expect an answer, but I do wonder how long it will take. So there's that. And on that note, I'm going to go because I've just been talking complete and utter shite for the past 43 minutes. And I'm sure most of you have got better things to do with your time, but I just thought I'd check in and catch up and just talk to you a bit more about the pins and where I've been this week. And a few of you have been messaging and been like, oh, why haven't you replied to my message yet? And you thought that let me explain that better. You had messaged me thinking that you'd upset me somehow because I wasn't replying. Please don't worry, I'm just really slow at replying to messages at the moment because my whole life feels like it's been tipped upside down. But I promise you I'll be working through them soon, and as soon as I'm back in my office I just want to sort myself out, organise myself, get to IKEA for a new office chair because that is much needed, and yeah, I'm sure I'll be back at the weekend. I'm going to be writing a monthly, not monthly favourites, I did that yesterday. What is going on? Sketchbook tours post tomorrow too, so you can see all the drawings I've been doing recently. And yes, I'm going to just stop talking now, I'm just going to go. But I hope you guys all have a lovely rest of the day, weekend, depending on when you're watching